TWM podcast.
Hello there, it is Matty Deller, your host for Raw Talk, filling in once again this week, and I've got a co-host filling in with me. I'll introduce them in a few seconds, and then we will review last night's Monday Night Raw, but this is a TWM podcast in case you didn't realise, and how couldn't you? We are a part of TWM podcast, as I just said, bringing you content every single day of the week, news, reviews and interviews, available on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube, Deezer and wherever else you get your pods. And in addition, if you are on YouTube, please subscribe, turn on notifications, smash that like button. We are within single digits of getting to our subscriber goal, meaning that we can get our custom URL and really get our YouTube channel off the ground. So please go and subscribe right now. Just search TWM Podcast. If you listen on a normal podcast platform, search TWM Podcast. If you're already there, fantastic. Subscribe right away. We Love Sport. They help keep the lights on here at TWM. They have over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips on their fantastic apps, available at the App Store and Google Play Store. Obviously can't use them right now in the current climate, but download them, keep them safe in your phone, and when this whole thing blows over, they are right there for you, and you can book front row seats in addition for that, so you do not miss a second of the action. In the meantime and in between time, they are doing fantastic content on their social media at We Love Sport UK and over at welovesport.co. We are also brought to you by WrestleCrate, a fantastic monthly wrestling subscription service. Use the code TWM Wrestling for up to 3 free items when you sign up for a monthly box. The latest month, if you sign up to the higher tier, you can get an autographed item from WWE superstar Seth Rollin. So you got loads of stuff from promotions, not only in America, not only internationally, but also right here in the UK. Check them out. Use the code TWM Wrestling at checkout at wrestlecrate.co.uk. Joining me to talk through last Monday night is someone that you will hear on occasion on pay-per-view predictions, but she is also one of our finest interviewers on TWM Talks and anything but wrestling. It is Shirley. Hello there.
Hello, this is very odd to be doing one of these podcasts.
I generally think the last time you did one of these is you filled in on a best of the rest at very, very last minute when Kim might have been unwell, and I literally had to grab anyone that was available to watch certain shows. And this was the case again. Unfortunately, sometimes life just gets in the way. That's what we do when we do the stuff that we love on the side to our shoot jobs, if you will. So yeah, people were busy, and luckily Shirley was available. So I was like, sit down, watch Raw, tell me what you think, and we're going to talk about it. So this is going to be very, very interesting. So let's have a look at what happened on Raw. The obvious big talking point from last night, and what a show for you to come in on, Shirley, and we can discuss it, is that crowds have returned to the World Wrestling Entertainment Arena Performance Centre, as we saw PC members, I call them members, PC people, I don't know. Recruits, that's the one I was thinking of.
There you go.
Littered at a distance of one another, but eventually they ended up all in the same spot. I noticed that they all just slowly migrated to one side, behind plexiglass, to watch the action and be quote-unquote fans for the show, in a move that they totally didn't nick from another promotion. But I don't want to be one of those podcasts, Shirley, that say AEW did it first or / did it better. But let's be honest, AEW did this first and did it better.
Yeah. I found it really awkward to watch, especially with the plexiglass. Like, that was really off-putting, and it feels like they're going to move that forward if they bring in, like, a real audience. And that's got to be weird, taking pictures and stuff from behind plexiglass, whatever it is. But also, I found it really off-putting seeing people who are meant to be future stars of WWE being in the crowd. Like, I know that they've done it in the past with Adam Rose's Rosebuds, and Becky Lynch was one, and it didn't really affect her, but it's just really weird seeing people like Shotzi Blackheart and Malcolm Bivens being in the audience and being fans. I will say it was fun. It was fun to see them, seeing Shotzi and Malcolm in the crowd. Also seeing Jessamine Duke being a massive mark in the crowd generally did amuse me. But the difference between AEW and WWE is AEW are actively, like, acknowledging
It's like, we are putting some of our up and coming young wrestlers and some of our wrestlers in the crowd and letting them be their characters, whereas WWE have gone, we've just plucked any old people from NXT because you don't know who they are. Even though there's some people that watch all the shows, they're not even referencing my name. They just said members of the WWE Performance Center are here, and we're like, there's Jessamine Duke, she's been on TV. Shotzi Blackheart's like one of your biggest female stars at the moment, and Malcolm Bivens was on TV 3 weeks ago, and you're literally just referring to them as like faceless masses in the crowd.
Whether that's damaging in the future, who knows? But I find this a lot with WWE. I found that their way of doing things was really awkward.
Yeah, it does. This seems a lot more awkward, a lot more homogenized, a lot more like. Whereas AEW, it seemed a bit like. I think someone on Twitter was like, they let them be fans, like they let the AEW, if they weren't wrestling, like they let them drink, they let them like have fun while watching the show in front of them. If you saw like Swole and Sonny Kiss and all that at Double or Nothing, they definitely had a lot of fun. And this one, it's very much, they're like, you stand here, you don't move. You cheer for you cheer for who we tell you to cheer, and you boo for whoever we tell you to boo. And it's just like, I know that's going to be the case because AEW, the good guys are going to cheer for the, like, it seemed very, whereas this seemed very natural, this seemed very like corporate. But it's going to happen with WWE, so you can't really complain about it. Also, the rumours of them filming like a bunch of TV and having them stand for like 6 to 10 hours with no, like, why are they not allowed seats?
Budgets, obviously. They're doing budget cuts and all that sort of stuff. That's probably why. And chairs is obviously cut. Plexiglass, fine. Chairs, now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even do standing shows. Like, I can't stand at a show for long, so imagine standing for 10 hours. And if you're going to be, like, when they start bringing in real fans and not just PC recruits, are they really going to stand for the entire show?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I don't think they will. I think they will eventually have to bring like distant seating in, but it's just it just seemed very, very weird. And then on top of that, the whole point of these people is meant to be have a crowd, and it was good. I will say this: having reactions in the crowd improves the show massively compared to not. Like, we learned that with AEW, that AEW became immediately more watchable than WWE for the most part because there was some form of sound, and now obviously they're taking it to the nth degree.
I was going to say, and Austin Gunn has made it a lot more tolerable. Him and Double or Nothing was hilarious in his funky garb. That made it a lot more tolerable.
Oh yeah, him and his dad just living their best life in the front row all the time. Just brilliant. And they've gone to that with the nth degree in AEW. And I don't want to be one of those podcasts that's like, AEW's better, because in all fairness, there's been a lot of like WWE stuff that's been better than AEW and vice versa. It's been very back and forth. Yeah. But like, they've gone to the nth degree now, where obviously they've got the benefit of having a billionaire that owns a massive stadium. So they can be like, oh, we'll use the massive 10,000 seat amphitheatre and just put people really far apart in clusters, so it sounds like there's loads of people in here, whereas this one, they're like, we have a performance centre and we have a bunch of people, so it's kind of difficult. But then again, WWE shoot themselves in the foot. You had a bunch of people separated by social distancing, but they still had to do a thing where the PC guys had to come out of the crowd to break up a brawl between Bobby Lashley, Drew Galloway and MVP. I'm like, who wrote this? Dominic Cummings? It's just like, with someone checking their eye test as they had to try. My vision was blurred, so I need to call in a bunch of people to stop socially distancing. WWE just, like, they seem to see stuff and go, I like that, let's do it our way, which is almost code for let's do it the wrong way. But like I said, Jessamine Duke like marking out for Kevin Owens was really, really funny, and just seeing Malcolm Bivens in the front row booing while wearing a Street Profits shirt just was unintentionally hilarious. We also had a big title change opening the show as Apollo Crews picked up his first piece of singles gold, defeating Andrade for the United States title. We all assumed there was going to be a heel turn for Apollo after his injury loss to Andrade a few weeks ago. They brought him back as a fiery babyface, and I'm not going to lie, Shirley, it's worked. He's over, so...
He's as over as you can get in an empty arena.
Oh yeah, this is fair.
But I think it's about time. Like, he was one of those ones in NXT who wasn't in there for long and kind of got rocketed to the main roster in 2016, which I think was way too quick. I think it was 2016 or 17, one of the two. But anyway, he got rocketed way too quickly and hasn't been able to find his footing, which is why I'm really intrigued by the fact that they've given him the belt. I hope they book him strong, and they give him like a good sustained feud, and it's just not an opportunity for them to switch between titles between Andrade. And what is going on with Andrade? Like, I thought he's supposed to be the hottest thing. Now he's losing the belt.
You've explained 2 points that I really want to kind of jump on. Is they need to book Apollo Crews strong now. He can't be winning the belt and then losing for the next few weeks, which WWE have done before. They need to book him strong, have him beat a bunch. They've got a bunch of people. Bring in some PC guys, have him beat a bunch of them. Have him maybe do some open challenges where he beats like an R-Truth or something. So I'm hoping they keep him strong, because Apollo Crews, you are right, they called him up way too soon. It was a big shot when we're bringing up Apollo Crews, and we're like, well, he's done nothing in NXT because he's not had a chance to do anything in NXT yet. So, and they brought him up and they did nothing with him, and then it seems like because they haven't got a lot of people they want to use, they've started using Apollo, and Apollo's taken that ball and run with it. Hopefully they let him run and don't immediately tackle him straight away. But the interesting thing is Andrade. Andrade's, with this empty arena thing, one of the biggest things is they were booking Zelina's faction against Drew, but then Drew has kicked the crap out of her faction for the last month, and now he's lost the belt. So I have are they breaking them up? Are they going to turn Andrade face? Are they going to do some sort of feud between Andrade and Angel? I genuinely have no idea where they're going with this.
And it's kind of a shame, because I really like the fact that there was a faction being built up with not just a man in lead, it was a woman who was leading this faction, and they've kind of, I don't know why, but they've completely 180'd on it. We'll talk about later with Austin Theory being out, and they're clearly being this thing where Angel Garza is going to be the one who's going to stay with Zelina. That's how I feel like it's kind of going. But it's like, why split up something that could have been really good? If again, the problem that I have with the way WWE does things is they don't think in the long term. And I get you can't think in the long term with what's going on in the world, but at least for this time when there's empty arenas, they could have made them into a big deal.
They could have.
It's gone completely to the wayside, and even though the match was good, I think that I was kind of hoping that they'd stay together as a faction. It feels like they're going to break up. I loved my little group. Yeah,
it's like one of those things. At the start of this year, my big hope was my main goal was hashtag Zelina for Raw Women's Champion, because I wanted her to wrestle more. Because I maintained that it's amazing they've got a manager there that's probably one of the best in-ring females they have. Never forget that at one point in 2020, Zelina Vega did a handspring Hurricane Rana in heels. That's next level athleticism, ladies and gentlemen. But they brought up this really strong manager, and they don't have strong managers. And then what they've done is they've gone strong manager post WrestleMania. No, it's all going to fall apart now. Or are they looking at, well, we need, maybe again they're going for part 57 of, we need to replace Rey as the Hispanic face. How about Andrade? No, Andrade as a heel. You always use Andrade as a heel.
And he's done so well as a heel, and who knows, he might end up being a good babyface, but I feel like it's a wasted opportunity here.
I feel like he'll be like Del Rio, so...
Yeah, and we all know how Del Rio turned out. We all know. And I don't want Andrade going down the same route.
Yeah, not comparing Del Rio, not comparing Hispanic to Hispanic, because I know that's kind of not fair to really do. I mean, as in, not believable babyface. Neither of them are. If you're going to turn anyone in that group, you turn Garza, because you've seen him. Garza can be a good face. So, but we'll have to see. Speaking of Garza, midway through this match, literally about 30 seconds before the finish, we saw Garza describing a match like making love to a beautiful woman, which was weird. I
love that man so much.
In all fair, he has taken the top shagger gimmick that I basically said that Noam Dar had at the beginning of 205 Live.
Right.
Yeah, the top shagger Noam Dar. Now, Angel Garza appears to be top shagger. Maybe that needs to be... It's a shame that that could be a feud. Or they could be a team, the top shaggers. We could have Noam and Angel going round, being absolute mad lads.
But, like, I think Angel... Yeah, you're right, Angel Garza being, like, the new Ray of this generation. But I love Angel Garza so much.
Like, he's the
fantastic.
Best.
He's fantastic. And we get to talk more about him later and just be like, But I think if this leads to a breakout match for Garza, because he didn't get that at Mania because of everything that happened. Yeah. I feel like he needs a breakout feud, and maybe a feud with Andrade will be that.
Possibly. That's a very, very good shout to have that match with Andrade, perhaps at SummerSlam or something. Like, when he got called, I remember him basically being ridiculously better than everyone else in the NXT and 205 Live Cruiserweight division. And when they called him up, I was like, yeah, because if we're honest here, he's a slightly more charismatic version of Andrade, so why not put them together? And he's shown that... I know a lot of people see a lot of... again, doing the Hispanic comparison, see a lot of Eddie Guerrero in Andrade. Yeah. I see OG Eddie Guerrero so much in Angel Garza. Like, I can tell, give him some time, when they've got the crowds back, he is going to be like one of the most over faces. Yeah. Because he's just so charismatic. Yeah,
and you can't teach that charisma.
You cannot. Very similar to...
You cannot teach it. Like, I'm a casual watcher of WWE now, and even I think he's great.
Yeah. You can't teach charisma, much like you can't teach being 7 foot tall. We've learned that over the many years of being wrestling fans. Yeah. We then we hear from Seth Rollins, who, again, dressed in a suit. I'm now seeing Jesse's point. He legitimately looks like a funeral director. But they're now doing memorials, so he's branching out in his funeral service because he's going to hold a retirement ceremony for Rey Mysterio. This upset Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo, leading to a tag match, but after they picked up the win, Rollins boys nearly tried to blind Carrillo, nearly got to blind deck, but it didn't happen. I did not like the Messiah Seth Rollins for the longest time. I thought it was a bit wank, but after his breakdown a few weeks ago, which I genuinely was hoping that he was going to... Genuinely, I was talking to some of the boys on WhatsApp about this. My hope was when they did that shot of him looking all dishevelled and shocked a few weeks ago, that he was just going to like look at Murphy and just go, I'm going to be a dad, and then just walk off and we never see him. He just goes immediately on maternity leave. Like, he's just not taken the fact that he's going to be a dad very well.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
TWM podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
But he's now doing this basically Mad King Messiah comedy. He's not just the pious Messiah. He is now the insane Messiah of eye for an eye and like, do not judge me for what I do because I do not know what I'm doing, that sort of thing. I'm on board with this Seth Rollins. This is... it's taken them a while, but they've finally found this version of Seth Rollins that works.
Like, he was made into a heel because of the fan reactions from last year, and again, casual fan, not really watched WWE in a while, and seeing the way in which Rollins conducts himself, it's almost like he's a modern James Mitchell from like the early TNA days.
Yes, that's a very good comparison.
Raven. And a modern Raven, where he had Raven's Flock in the early TNA days, and it feels that sort of eerie, and I want more people in this little group just to see where it goes. Like, it would be really great, like, where we did not get the faction with Zelina Vega leading it. We got a faction where it's very much like Raven's Flock. I'm more on board with.
That's really good, because when we hopefully down the road get AOP back, and we've got AOP, we've got Austin Theory, and we've got Murphy as a unit, it's really good. And then they could bring more in, and they could bring more in. Like, I would, like, yeah, it's just, there's so much scope for it. I did like the old Austin, like, again, I said this last week, that him, Murphy, and Austin Theory does remind me of Tiger King. It's like, just he's brought in the younger, the younger, more attractive person in as well into this. But I like Theory basically doing the thing of like, I thought I had friends, but they're literally doing like the stuff that I've learned in my real job about people that get like radicalized. About like, I thought I had friends, but they betrayed me. But then this other person took me in, and I've seen the light. It's literally 101, like indoctrination into extremism. It's so well done, actually, with Murphy, of like him just going to people that are broken and being like, I can fix you, and it really, really good.
And I'm going to throw a proper teacher reference out here, because at the moment I've been planning for term 6 of year 6 teacher. I have to go back on the first, and I've had to plan for Holes, and it reminds me of Sam in Holes, who goes, I can fix that, this is broken, I can fix that. And it just reminded me, you saying that made me think of that in the purest teacher way. It's
just, I hope that they just let him fix loads of broken toys in WWE. It's so interesting. Like I said, Austin Theory's a much better fit here than with Zelina Vega. Who would fit in this group? So we've got Rollins, Murphy, Theory, AOP when they come back. Who else do you think would fit in? Well, with the rumours of them potentially, once this all dying down, which is I think a lot of people assume that they were going to rehire a bunch of people that they'd released. You know who would be perfect as a devout follower of Rollins that I don't think a lot of people would think of? Drake Maverick. That would be an interesting shout. All I'm thinking of, again, going back to your your Raven chat, Drake would be a really good, like, Cassidy Riley, Stevie Richards, like the devout, the yes boss, anything boss, that one. I do reckon they could have a female in there. Yeah, I think if you're going to go along with the those who've been released, Sarah Logan. I was also going to say someone that's going to end up getting left by the wayside, and they just have her completely do a 180, Lana. Yeah, because we'll go into it a bit later. She's not had a great time recently on Raw. No, and if they ideally make it where she just doesn't talk and she's with Rollins, A1. Yeah, like there's so much scope for it. All in all, this Raw, very promo heavy. I looked up courtesy of Wrestling Observer. I was reading up. Apparently, like coming up to the first 2 hours had roughly about 15-20 minutes of wrestling in it. Wow. They made up in the last hour. They had 2 15-minute matches in there. It was a very weirdly paced show. It was like long promo. It was like long match promo, quick match promo. Really long matches at the end. It was strange. We had Kevin Owens show with Asuka, Nia, Natalya, and Charlotte Flair on it. I did pop because the gimmick with Natalya basically having a breakdown the last few weeks. And last week she chucked around all of Kevin Owens' furniture before his interview happened. So I love that when Natalya came out, Kevin Owens immediately just started removing all the furniture and was like, I don't want you to break anything, I'm just getting it out of the way. we also had Nia become number one contender, beating Charlotte and Natty in an okay triple threat match. So Nia did literally get up from being put through the announce table a minute after it happening. So it is Nia though. So
yeah, but like, also my question: what in the world's happening with Shayna Baszler?
I have no idea, because Shayna Baszler beat Natalya twice, once in a submission match, and she wasn't in this. So I'm assuming she's injured, or I'm assuming that maybe she's not feeling great, so they're keeping her away as a precaution, because they've just stopped talking about Shayna Baszler. It's
right.
I have no idea. Generally, no idea. We did get the Natalya bit where she was doing an interview and then answered her phone, and she was talking to TJ, aka Tyson Kidd. And then at the end of the interview, just went to, sorry, I've run out of time. Literally, she spoke for 30 seconds, so that's all they had to talk to Natalya in. Which does pay into a lot of strong rumours. They're not really rumours. They're based off an interview that we put out in conjunction with Spencer Love from the Win column in Canada, where Tyson Kidd spoke about the potential of coming back, and he pretty much said he would like to, but he doesn't know what's going to happen, and everyone's picked that up as Tyson Kidd is returning to WWE, and I don't think he is. I would like him to come back.
No.
It'd be great if he came back as like Natalya's manager, like.
Yeah.
If they brought him back as basically but all I'm thinking of is very much like Shelton Benjamin's mama kind of thing, where when Tyson Kidd comes back and he goes, right, I'm going to get you back on the right track here. Clearly you need some help. But
I think that's what I'm going to head down. And it'd be really nice to see TJ back on TV, because he is someone who unfortunately was at the point of, you can't do this again. And it was like, unlike Edge, Daniel Bryan, this one's like a permanent thing. So it'd be nice to see him in a different capacity, because he has got such a great mind for wrestling and WWE as a whole. So it'd be a shame if they just let that go to the wayside. So I'm hoping to him returning to TV.
Yeah, like people tend to forget, like with Bryan, like there was a likelihood of him being paralysed if he returned at the time. Same with Edge. With Tyson Kidd, he was like an inch away from dying. Like it wasn't he'd be paralysed. He literally, if that move was like a little bit harder or like a little bit further on his neck, he would have died. So I don't think they're going to bring him back anytime soon, unless they are like, much like with Hiromu Takahashi, 1000% the tea is safe and cleared. We did get a VIP announce segment where MVP invited Drew. This was a good segment. Drew like destroyed the set and was like, well, where's he? He's coming out. Where is he? And then MVP brought up, went, I offered to help you. And you didn't take it, and look at you now, but now I'm going to make you the ex-champion because this person's taken my help. And then we did get the great line of like, Lashley's going to take this from my cold dead hands, and MVP goes, that can be arranged, and Lashley comes out. Good segment, really enjoyed that.
And I like seeing MVP in this capacity, because he's a great talker.
Yes.
Like, from his prime years into like 2008, he's a great talker. And for him to be the voice of Bobby Lashley is exactly what Bobby can't promo, but MVP his voice. And it kind of feels like, I was saying this after watching Double or Nothing with my other half, who's no longer in a full-time wrestler capacity, going with someone who is in a full-time wrestler capacity and having no sorts of parents. I'm loving it, and I think MVP and Bobby Lashley are a good pair.
Yeah. It does work. It really does work. I completely agree. Like, I want them again. I want them to bring more in. I'm very confused where the whole Ricochet, Cedric Alexander thing was going, because it looked like they were going to be with them. Now they're not. But now they did a thing with the Street Profits. I don't want them to turn heel. They're too over as faces. They were doing the thing where Bianca Belair wanted them to be serious, and now Bianca Belair's not on TV. She's on Main Event. They debuted Bianca Belair, used her for 1 week, and then whacked her on Main Event.
That angers me. That's the thing that I really don't like about WWE, is like, you invest so much into people in NXT, then they get called up, or quote unquote called up to the main roster, and then they're thrown on Main Event. Like, it just makes me sad.
How can you get someone, literally her gimmick is that she is the best, so therefore the gimmick should be with Bianca Belair is that she is beating everyone. Like,
why was she not involved in the women's championship picture?
Yes.
She's not involved in the picture anymore. Why?
It makes no sense.
Why?
We did get the Viking Raiders and Street Profits playing golf last week with the axe throwing. It was quite funny. They had some quite good lines. The week before, with the basketball, it was awful. This week, it was back to being awful. This was not funny, them playing golf. Like, last week, they played really into, we are Vikings, like, without making them look like idiots. This one, they went back to making the Viking Raiders look like idiots. And then less said about the stupid joke at the end, the better. Angel Garza, your boy, he ran through Kevin Owens in 4 minutes. Shocking, like, great star-making win for Garza to beat someone like a former Universal Champion in Kevin Owens in 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yay! That's all I have to say on him. Is yay!
Yeah.
Goodness, he's winning. I don't know what else to say. It was a short match, and I'm glad Garza won. Build up some momentum for him. See what happens.
Owens can eat a loss with that. It's fine. And also, he got attacked from behind, so there's solid reasoning. Edge cut a really good promo about Orton ahead of the greatest wrestling match ever.
I understand that Charlie Caruso said this at the end of a Raw, but why are they going along with this?
By the way, have you seen, like, I don't think we spoke about this on the on Pod. I might have done it last week a little bit with Jess, but the brass balls for WWE to be using The Greatest Showman, This Is the Greatest Show, as the theme for Backlash.
No way!
Like, WrestleMania, I could see you getting away with that. Backlash? You're using the Brandon Urie version of The Greatest Showman for Backlash?
Wow.
The balls.
This is not Charlie Caruso's fault. This is Charlie Caruso's fault. I'm blaming her for this one.
Joe's going to be upset with you, because that's his favourite. You can't be blaming Charlie Caruso.
Really?
He loves Charlie Caruso.
God, Joe, develop some taste.
Oh, Lordy mercy. Liv Morgan, again, hammering home that she is the most relatable WWE superstar. We have still got an article up if you want to check that out. Victoria wrote it, like, saying how, as a woman in her mid-20s, Liv Morgan is, like, the most relatable WWE superstar to her. And she is. Because, again, it's another great promo. She's all about, goes, I have no idea what I wanted in life. I had no idea what I wanted until I came to WWE. And even then, I'm still figuring it out. And...
yeah.
Whoever's writing this has got this bang on, because they've literally just given Liv Morgan the gimmick of 20-something girl who's figuring her shit out, which, like, literally every person can relate to.
Yeah, every person currently in their 20s can relate to the fact that you are still figuring shit out in your 20s. Like, I'm 28, and I watched this promo. I felt like I could relate quite a lot to it, even though I've quote unquote got my shit together. I'm still figuring stuff out, and I completely understood that. And I've always loved Liv Morgan. I've always thought she's had that spark, and I don't know whether it's intentional, but I'm loving where they're going with Liv.
They're making her very much the every woman. Something very similar to, I remember having this conversation in NXT when we had the Four Horsewomen. We had Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley. And I would say, like, when people were talking about who it was, they'd be like, oh, well, Becky's like the Austin, and compare like that, like, and Charlotte's the Triple H, and Sasha's like the Rock. And everyone like, who's Bayley? I went, Bayley's Mankind. Like, Bayley is like the lovable, relatable character, the underdog. And I'm getting that lovable, relatable underdog, Mankind-esque, but without, like, with Liv. And, like, you could generally, from now until, like, SummerSlam Survivor Series, build up where she's just slowly figuring herself out. She finally gets a big win. And you can make it believable that she would then go and win. Like, I could easily see her, like, from now until Survivor Series, and I'll probably get grief for saying this, I could believe them doing a program, like, slowly building up where, like, Liv upsets Asuka for the Raw Women's title, like Survivor Series or something.
Yeah. And I think people might actually be behind it. I think once this goes back to being in front of a crowd, I think Liv can really build the crowd up behind her. She has got such a likeable personality, and I think that she would be a great fit. And I feel like her time is coming, and it's coming soon. She's managed to get over all of that rubbish with Lana. That's a dim and distant memory, thankfully. And I feel like if they slow build her, with these promos, with a few wins here and there against Ruby, Kairi Sane maybe, build her up and then see what happens. And because I think that's what people want to hear. Someone who has been built up and is presented as someone who, we're happy to have. Exactly what happened with Becky Lynch. Exact same situation with Becky Lynch. She was liked by the crowd and they gave her the opportunity, and Becky Lynch obviously ran with it. Do the same with Liv Morgan and I think we'd get really good results.
Yeah, like everyone wants to see a journey. We want to see a journey. Yeah. We want to see someone grow, build, etc., through all their trials and tribulations, and we'll get something that with Liv Morgan, hopefully. The Iconics, they attacked Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Good promo from Nikki Cross. I did enjoy that. Good fiery promo from her. It looks like this Iconic split that looked like was going to happen last week maybe isn't happening now. Good. Don't split the Iconics. Why would you split the Iconics? And I will say this to every single person that seems to say they're awful. They're not. They're entertaining and they're good. Stop saying it.
Who's saying that they're awful?
Oh, I listened to so many places that are like, they can't wrestle. And I'm like, they're heels. They're not meant to have movesets. They're meant to just do stuff. Like... Yeah.
And anyone who goes to the Iconics, they have no heart or soul.
Yeah.
Because they're great. They're like... I feel like with this women's division, there's a lot of likeable characters like Asuka, like the Iconics, like Liv Morgan. There's a lot of likeable people that you want to see succeed.
So, yeah, at the same time, Iconics being unspeakably annoying on TV works because you don't want to see them win. You want to see them lose.
Yeah.
Like, even I love the Iconics. Peyton and Billy deserve everything on there. But at the same time, even I look at them and go, yes, but you deserve to not win things. And if you do win things, people should be upset at that. Not because you can't wrestle, but because you're bad guys. That's the point. Anyway, that's Raw. That was Monday Night Raw. It was okay. It was a bit of a weirdly paced show. If you're not into a lot of promo and kind of world building stuff, it can be a bit of a slog, but there are some things worth it. Check out the Apollo match, I'd say, and then maybe just skip through until you see something you like, because it was a weird show, bottom line. Anyway, if you want to get in touch with us, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch at TW Wrestle. We are Twitch streaming a lot more. We're doing very, very well. Loads of people seem to be liking our Twitch stream. Thank you to everyone that joined us on Monday for our Super Strong Style 16 live sim tournament. I apologise that Spike Trevay won the tournament. However, we did a Wasteman challenge and Roy Johnson won, so we did the unthinkable. We're doing another one tomorrow night, again, twitch.tv/TWWrestle, so please come and check that out. We have loads of people jumping in. We had Bronco Brendan White a couple of on Friday. Kim jumped in half a bottle of wine deep on last Friday. We had Mike jump in yesterday. We're hoping to get loads of people will jump in and get involved, so please do so. Twitch.tv/TWWrestle. Subscribe to our podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Acast, Podbean, YouTube. Our latest episode of Anything But Wrestling dropped yesterday. We spoke to Mariah May. It's a very weird episode. Like, a lot of people see Mariah as this influencer and this YouTuber that became a wrestler, so on and so forth. Doesn't hide the fact that she's still a nerdy wrestling fan at heart that is still very strained like all of us. And there is a hilarious story, if you've seen the video, of her doing something incredibly psychopathic on The Sims. So please check that out. It's very, very funny. We've got loads more coming up over the next few weeks for Anything But Wrestling. On twm.news right now, there's a two really, really good memorial articles for Shad Gaspard and Hana Kimura. We are going to have another Terrible Wrestling Thursday coming up this week. We've also got Red vs. Blue. Go read that. Benjamin Clem's excellent review of Raw and SmackDown. And loads more besides at twm.news. Shaz, your social media.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Shirley Charles. I don't know when my Anything But Wrestling is coming out, because I've recorded an episode which is probably as bizarre as what's come out at the moment. Any idea when mine was coming out?
I have no idea, because we did so many we recorded like for a shoot. We recorded about 10 in a week, and we never really went, what order are we going to put these in? We knew the first two. And then we're like, what's the next one? I can't remember what's coming out. Like, it will come out soon because I know the person you did it with, and it's going to be very funny. So it will come out very, very soon, but you will hear at TWM Wrestle. I'm at MAID. Like I said, we are at TWM Wrestle. Stay safe. We love you all. This has been Raw Talk, and someone will be here next week. Hopefully it's Jess and Smiley, but someone will be here reviewing Monday night again next Tuesday.